Welcome to our next video within CIMA E3 syllabus enterprise strategy. We're basing it on Express notes, and this time we're entering chapter 4, which talks about change management. This part of the lecture, this part of this video will be devoted to the problem of why people resist change. You all probably know it. You've all been through it. I'm sure you all resisted a change or two in your organization. Nobody likes changes. Now we will try to get to an answer why people do it. Because if you get to an answer to that, it's easier to factor it in the change project. Well, first of all, let's say something obvious. Change is necessary. Change is necessary. It may result from the dissatisfaction with the present strategy. We want to change the strategy. It was bad. It was not the way the way the shareholders expected. Now, or maybe it's okay, but we can do it better. All right. So yeah, changes are inevitable. Everything changes, and therefore organization must change as well. But each change will be disruptive. It will stop people doing what they like. It will stop people doing what they're used to, and it will be stressful because they will have to change their ways. Most people, 95% of people probably would be happy just taking a metro every morning, getting to the office at 9, leaving at 5, and doing things they like afterwards. Now, if they need to change something within that plan, that is always stressful and they don't like it. Now, here in the notes, you've got the reasons which are associated with failed change programs. Now we'll get to them in a minute, but before we do it, we will start from analysis of why they may fear the change. If you Google why people resist change, you will have various websites saying 5 reasons why people resist change, 8 reasons why people resist change, 12 reasons, or 25 or 178 reasons why people resist change. So there is no one framework for it, but if we want to make a mind map of why people resist change, we would probably come up with something like this. First is the fear, our good friend. People resist change because they don't know what's going to happen after the change. Will their jobs be secure? I mean, why do they change this IT system? It's probably that they will need less employees if the system gets better. So that's fear. And obviously, if you realize that, there's a number of ways, a number of steps you can take to counteract that fear. The second one is a different one. It's comfort. If you do something, if you had been doing this for ages, you feel good at it, and you don't like people who want to change that because it will take you out of your comfort zone. Another one is people do not perceive the need. So yes, the big bosses came up with new ideas, but from my perspective here at the very bottom, it looks like everything's working properly. Right, they don't have the helicopter view, they just do their procedures, and they think that if they do their procedures right, the whole process is right. So if you want to change that, you know what to do. You have to show them that despite the fact that they do their jobs well, overall, it doesn't come to a successful end. Now, Another reason, which is a little harder to counteract, is no faith in the process. If people do not believe this project will end with a success, they will not support the change, because they will see it only as a tool for creating more mess. And the reason why they may have no faith in the process are failures from previous attempts. Usually people will see those attempts as a confirmation of a failure in the future. So what is the lesson to be learned from that? Well, the managers must show that they are capable of affecting the change, that they know what they want and they know how to do that. Because otherwise, the previous experience may act against them. Next one is lack of knowledge. People are used to what they're doing well and they don't want to learn new things. They don't have the knowledge on their hand to do something in a new way and they don't want to learn it. That is the case when manual work is replaced by a computerized or automated work. They don't want to learn it. They are comfortable with what they're doing. Very, very dangerous thing, because what it may lead to is that people will ignore the new system, they will ignore the change, or they will just mock doing it according to the changed way, but in reality they will still do it the old way. In your experience, how many accounting systems are there, or ERP systems, while Excel spreadsheets are still being used? Right, take that into consideration. Now, next one is lack of trust in leaders. It may look similar to no faith in the process, but it's not the same thing. This is where people object change because they don't believe that people can do it, or they simply don't trust what they say. So when the leader says it's going to be better, they say, I don't think so. Because they just don't trust the leader. Obviously, the way to counteract that is to explain, convince, and so on. Now another one is pushing too hard for a change. All right, people don't like that. People don't like to be rushed, especially those that don't like change. Now, if you have someone who likes the local supermarket they've always been using, but you want to take that person to a new supermarket in the neighborhood. Now, if you know that person really likes the old one, you will not say, from today on, we're not shopping in this shopping mall because we don't like it. We're going to another supermarket that is just a few blocks away. You don't do it. You will take that person into the car, first drive around. You will show that person, look, what a nice supermarket they built. Oh, it would be interesting to visit it one day. Then, probably after doing shopping in the old shop, you will say, oh my God, they haven't got my favorite type of rolls. Maybe they've got them in the other supermarket, so you'll go there just to buy those rolls. And on day 3, at the third attempt, you may want to do the full shopping in the new shop gradually, right? Lead people into the change rather than push them into it. And finally, something you can do nothing about. You may convince people, you may negotiate with people, or you may tell them what to do, but there will still be people who have a personal preference for having things the way they had always been. They don't like changes. In their work, in their homes, in their families, nowhere. And that is probably one of the most difficult reasons to come around.